Bakugo Katsuki. This boy play fun games? Never. But if it were related to you, well, we have a dare, the listener. Bakugo would just say, ugh, fine. Listener was over in the corner talking to Jiro and Momo, leaning against the wall with her arm folded across her face and a smirk on her face as her eyes flicker over to Bakugo. Give me the fucking dare. Of course, the Bakusquad have been talking to the girls about using a handy dare to matchmake you and Bakugo. So, Sero and Kaminari dare Bakugo to go over you, slamming hands against the wall, and not to move. What an easy dare. Bakugo buddy, you're really, really wrong. Momo is currently daring listener to kiss Bakugo until he moves, and she's about to back out because she's heard his dare too. But suddenly, the girl moves back, and listener barely has time to notice Bakugo before she presses herself as far back against the wall as she can go. Because he's right there, and he stares at her dead in the eyes as he slams his hands against the wall, his forearm resting above her head and his body slightly entangled towards her. His cheeks are a little red from the proximity, but he never admits that. Meanwhile, listener is freaking out. His face is so close to her own, she'd barely have to move if she wanted to. Her heart raced as a smirk curled his lips upward, triumphant her light in his red eyes like a raging inferno. I'm so winning this game. But he doesn't know what she got dared to do. And if there are one thing listener hates, it's losing. So, before she can wimp out, she starts forward quickly, her hand somehow ending up in his chest as she connects their lips. Bakugo is shocked that he almost fell backward, wrapping his arms around the by no means weak listener who is fully capable of supporting his body weight. But it kisses back. And oh god, listener thinks she might faint right there and there. But she managed to spin out his arm, trying to fight back a stupid dorky grin as she walks back to Momo. I won, bitch. Kaminari and Momo smirk with mischievous intent. Dare you to ask them out first, they both say at the same time to Bakugo and listener respectively. It's so on. And this time, Bakugo's not going to lose. Listener didn't want him to though. Kirishima Eijiro. Hear me out. The Pocky stick there? Kirishima's always down for some fun, especially if it means his friends are laughing. So when he's sitting at this table at lunch with the Bakusquad and listener, he doesn't know whether to be excited or nervous when Mina brings the box of Pocky stick out of her bag. Kirishima, I dare you and listener to do the Pocky stick challenge. Oh dear, the poor boy's a mess now. He looks at listener, whose eyes are confused, like she's imagining or calculating something. So he laughs and is like, nah, if listener doesn't want to, that's not very manly. Honestly, he's just scared that neither of them will wimp out and then they will do it, listener. Listener smiles at Mina, shrugging. I mean, okay, only if it's Kiri's down. He low-key melts when she nicknames him. And how can he back out now? He takes a pink pocket stick from Mina and puts the end in his mouth, letting listener move forwards whenever she's ready. She comes forward immediately with no hesitation or cowardice. That's what he loves about her. Wait, loves? If he wasn't already blushing for her close proximity, he sure is now. You're okay? Somehow, she still sounds cute, even when she's trying to talk with a biscuit stick in her mouth. He nods, careful not to snap it as he bites down first. Soon, there's no more than a couple centimeters of the snack left, and Kirishima can see it in listener's eyes. She's not backing out. This time, she moves first, hitting the last bite of the fatted Pocky stick, and there's no space left between them. The boy is so busy admiring the girl that he kinda doesn't realize that they were kissing. And then his brain registered, and wow! Listener somehow tasted even better than the sugar-filled thread they've been eating. Her lips are warm and soft, and she actually lingered, kissing when the Pocky stick is long gone. Kirishima pulls back first, face as red as hair at the waltz whistles the table is giving. But he doesn't mind, because listener is smiling at him. Maybe that wasn't so bad after all. Kaminari Denki. Not gonna lie, Kaminari would totally be that boy who orchestrated the dare. But this time, he didn't. It was a really busy day because the whole class was running in and out of the dorms getting ready for the school festival. Kaminari, Tokoyami, and Jiro were tuning their guitars together in the living room, and a whole lot of people kept coming in and out of the room. And Jiro was bored. Later, she swore she didn't plan this though. She always saw with a knowing grin. Alright, Kaminari. Yeah? I dare you to kiss the next person that walks in. He dead as almost dropped the guitar on the floor. And that's when the love of his life, listener, walks into the room. Fine. Only because you dare me to, though. Jiro knows he would have refused if it had been anyone other than listener. The girl singing alongside her. Hey, Denki, ready for the performance? Kaminari was probably drooling. He got up, kinda glared at Jiro, and crossed the room to stand in front of the listener. She smiled, though she was clearly confused. Suddenly, he just kinda wrapped his arm around her and tilted her head up so she's looking straight into his eyes. He moves slowly forwards, his gaze flicking carefully down to her lips to make sure she's okay with that, what he's about to do. She barely nods her head. Kaminari connects their lips softly, marveling that a dare is all it took for him to finally find the courage to kiss his crush. And then he realized, oh fuck, I'm kissing listener. He stumbled back and he couldn't even look at her. I'm sorry, it wasn't there. And he scooped up his guitar, running out of the room. Tsukuyomi muttered a very creative curse under his breath, going to chase after Kaminari. Listener feels tears filling her eyes, but Jiro comes up with her with a sad smile. He likes you a lot, okay? Don't worry about that. Listener can't even look at him for most of the performance, and even though her singing is as beautiful as always, she's not really into it. After it, she goes to find Kaminari, because she's a queen and she's strong enough to do anything. I'm sorry about the dare, Denki. You didn't have to do it, make me feel better. I mean, I like you a lot, but it's okay if you don't like me back. She walks away, but he dropped the guitar at his feet, leaping towards her and catching her by the shoulder and spinning her around. I'm sorry too. I like you a lot. I guess I was just shocked that the love of my life was kissing me, that's not every day. The love of your life? And Kaminari throwing his arm around her, kissing her again. Listener smiled into his lips, almost giggling like the love-struck schoolgirl she was. Thank God for Jiro and her matchmaking meddling. Sarah Hanta. Honestly, it would definitely be through something simple and sweet, because that's who Sarah is, let's be real. Hiraraka would have been the one to organize the teen games night near the beginning of the year as to get to know another exercise. She definitely knew that Listener was crushing on her lifelong best friend she'd known long before UA, Sarah Hanta. Listeners 100% call him Han sometimes, but mostly it's Sarah because he likes his surname. They couldn't have the icebreaker game like Never Have I Ever out of the way, and Hakagura suggests Churro there. Come on, it's been so fun! Listener risks a look at Sarah and instantly she's basically sweating because the little shit is grinning at her, and this game could cause her to have to spill the truth she's been hiding, her crush on her best friend. Listener, Sarah was speaking from the other end of the circle. Do you like anyone? She almost could have laughed or cried from the irony of her crush asking her if she liked someone. It made her feel so heartbreakingly helpless, but she could never lie to him. Yeah, I do. Oh my god, who? That wasn't part of the question I got asked. Midoriya, your turn. Everyone was desperately trying to circle back to you to find out the truth about her love life, but there was still an entire class to get through. But look struck them. It was Midoriya's turn to ask, and this boy was astonishingly perspective. Sarah, truth or dare? Dare. If Sarah thought it would be safe from love life question, especially relating to the secret he was hiding by choosing dare, he was sorely mistaken. I dare you to tell us the name of the girl you like. Listener could practically feel herself tearing in half. Part of her was screaming about the chance that it could be her, whereas the other half was insisting that wasn't realistic and he definitely didn't like her. Yeah, who is it, hon? Everyone's blinked at the nickname listener tagged on the end of the question. She'd half-heartedly thrown out, tracing circle on the ground with her finger. Her name, Sarah has a tiny flush of pink dusting across his nose and cheeks. He rubs the back of his neck as he stares at the ceiling. Her name is Listener. What? At least 10 different people had screamed the question, but Listener hadn't been one of them. She was frozen, torn between the shock and elation as Hero slyly grinned at her. You guys were asking who I liked earlier? Everyone shut up at Listener's quiet word. His name is... It's Sarah Henta. Sarah could have shouted with happiness as he practically rocketed to his feet and bounced across the circle to her. She stood as well, placing her hand in the warmer one and letting him pull her out of the room, their giggles rocketing off the walls.